My king, I have discovered something called a preservative. We can put it in Bud Light and make it last forever.
Wait, why would I want it to last forever if I'm gonna drink it now?
Start again. Imagine you wanted to wait a year.
A year? It won't be cold in a year. Are you all right?
Okay.
I could be dead in a year, right?
Yes, my king, you'll definitely be dead in a year.
Maybe sooner.
Thank you. I think I'll drink it now. Year-old beer. It's madness.
Bud Light, no corn syrup, no preservatives, and no artificial flavors.
It's not the warrior who's never been knocked down that you should fear. No. It's the warrior who knows what it feels like to get hit. It keeps coming back for more.
What a goal by Rapinoe!
The halftime show is sponsored by AT&T. The U.S. women working on their 4th straight win. Sam Mewis with the strike in the 37th minute, her 10th goal for the U.S. And the States are up 1-0 at the break. Happy Mother's Day to you. Rob, Christy, Leslie, Alexi back in studio with you. Coming into this one, the offense for the U.S. really clicking. 11 goals from 8 different players over the course of the last 2 games. It took a little longer than expected today, Christy, for them to finally find net.
Absolutely. I think early on the space was there between the midfielder and the back line, but I just don't think they exploited it as well as they could have. South Africa right now is man marking, so they're following their players, and we're just not identifying where that space is. The game is about space. Now, how can we get into that space? How can we create the space? So right here, you see that they have plenty of time on the ball, but they're just still trying to figure out how do we get into that space. I feel if Sam Lewis pulls away, like she did here.
And it's about patience, too. Rose Lavelle couldn't unlock that pressure in the midfield. Finally finds a Sam Lewis popping off that back line, and her composure and just individual effort to take on. And Sam Mewis is showing more and more why she could possibly start on this team and the way she's scoring goals and bringing her presence onto the field.
Absolutely.
I thought it was a sloppy, predictable half and a team lacking some urgency. And it's not about the game today. It's all about winning a World Cup. And I just worry about when you do have this U.S. team coming up against a team that's going to sit in that bunker, do they have the ability and the patience to find consistent ways? And that at times, at that urgency that you need in order to break through. We'll see if the second half improves.
Still 2 more tune-ups after this one to go, New Zealand and Mexico for the U.S. women's national team. And our busy day of soccer here on Fox Sports continues later. Over on FS1, Wayne Rooney and DC United, they host Sporting KC. Rooney, 6 goals this season. DC now 2nd place in the East. And still to come on the AT&T halftime show, how the U.S. women's national team and Coca-Cola are banding together.
If you start with lime, a bit of chili powder, ice, and you mix it with beer, and of course, Clamato, you make the authentic Clamato Michelada. Are you craving one? Claro.
Want to know why they call her the finisher? Because she's the last thing they'll see before it's too late.
Takes the shot. What a goal for Morgan.
My mom is literally the best person ever.
Hi, Mom. I just want to say Happy Mother's Day, as well as Happy Mother's Day to all the other mothers out there.
My mom is the most beautiful, loving mother ever.
My mom is my hero.
We're now just 26 days away from the first of 52 live matches on Fox from the FIFA Women's World Cup. Our studio coming your way from Paris. Yesterday, a group of lucky teens were some of the first to receive one of these Believe bands made from the red nets of the 2019 She Believes Cup. I'm now a hand model, Lexi. Are you proud? Are you a little jealous, aren't you? 1,000 Believe bands and other amazing experiences can be unlocked with Coca-Cola this summer. Coca-Cola is giving everyone in America a chance to wear their optimism on their sleeves or wrists by creating special 20-ounce bottles that will feature tearaway U.S. women's national team wristbands, giving fans the opportunity to show their belief in the U.S. women's national team. And the lucky fans who received the Believe bands, there they are, watching the game today, supporting the U.S. women's national team, wearing their very own limited edition Believe Band. Second half kick from Santa Clara. Coming your way, the red, white, and blue up 1-0 on South Africa.
The 2 for $5 mix and match deal from McDonald's is back. Choose from some of your all-time favorites. It's time to celebrate because 2 for $5 mix and match is back.
What's your dream? To win championships? A scholarship? To win more trophies than Serena Williams? Do you dream of ending gender inequality? Or will you show that champions in your sport can also look like you? Maybe your dream is to be the first 13-year-old to go pro. Or to push a sport to accept everyone just as they are. But the craziest dream of all is the one that starts a million more.
You see them? The ones sitting atop the throne. A crown on their head and a target on their back. The team no one can look away from. The team everyone wants to take down. So take your best shot. Just remember, you come with the queen. You best not miss.
Today's coverage is sponsored by Volkswagen, the presenting partner of U.S. Soccer. Surprising scoreline, I would say. Ali Wagner, Sam Mewis with the game's only goal. Rose Lavelle with the assist. Mewis has goals now in back-to-back games, but I think a lot of people probably expected a bigger scoreline.
Oh, I think we both did. I think the U.S. would as well. I mean, you knew South Africa was going to play deep. That's been one of the challenges for this U.S. side historically, is how to break down low blocks. And I think it was a rather uninspired first half, to be frank. Not a lot of opportunities created. I think they can afford to be more aggressive in their positioning. If South Africa's not going to keep a lot of players high, you can rotate players. You can get players to fill into the seams, and that's how you create your overloads. And I think more impetus for the player on the ball has to be had in the second half to draw that second defender out and open up space for the player that you're ultimately going to pass it to.
It is tough to beat a bunker defense, and one would expect they will face some of that. They won't face that against Sweden, but they might face it against Thailand in the first game.
Thailand, Chile, and I would say Sweden as well. I mean, they do. That's how they beat them in 2016.
Especially if they need it, right? Because that's going to be the third game to see who maybe wins the group.
Exactly right.
But Sweden can play other ways too. 3 subs for the U.S. We see Davidson, Long, and Rapinoe. So let's see who's going to be coming out.
We saw Abby Dahlkemper doing full field sprints at half. So looks like she made way and was continuing to keep her fitness up.
We expected Rapinoe to play. We had heard she might start, but that was not the case. And I see Dlamini, Carabo Dlamini, has come in for South Africa. We'll get the subs when we get an opportunity as the second half is underway. So O'Hara came out, Morgan came out, Dahlkemper came out. So they're gonna, it appears, go slowly in terms of getting O'Hara back to 90 minutes of full fitness.
And that's smart. And I think it's important to continue to get Davidson minutes, because she could be a player that could be really called upon in this World Cup, whether it be the center back or this left back slot that she's in right now. But interestingly enough, sliding Ertz into that center back position, JP, continues to speak volumes about not only her versatility, but where the U.S. might be uncertain of come World Cup time.
U.S. will send this ball long. Can they get that second goal? And quickly in front, it's knocked away. But again, Kristen Press making things happen with her movement.
Yep, and with Heath off, she comes over to that right side, and Rapinoe's on the left.
So USA throw in. Box is going to be knocked away. Mentioned Carabo Dlamini coming in, number 7 for South Africa. The player out, Maladzi, who picked up a slight injury, it looked like, at the end of the first half. Over these moves. And then Lavelle's pass blocked. Poked ahead, Rapinoe! Blocked by Dlamini, the goalkeeper. Big save for her. Keeping the scoreline at 1-0. Matwambi lost it up front. They just don't keep possession anywhere near that halfway line and beyond.
No, it's difficult for them. They really want to spring players in behind, utilize their pace.
Ball's coming back to goal. It's a big save for Dlamini. Big tester from Megan Rapinoe. Winnie. Matlu. Back for South Africa. Just a 1-0 deficit for them. Dlamini. Going long. This ball tucked back the other way. Apologize, but Morgan is out on the field. It was Heath that had come out 17. So those were the changes made. 3 of them, though, for the U.S. at halftime. Press. Right side. That's blocked. A chance maybe for the U.S. coming up. Knocked out. Should be a corner, and it is for the U.S.
Press has been good, JP. Even if her final pass didn't come off all that often in the first, I think the pockets that she's popping up into and helping the U.S. get into that attacking third have been right on. She's been sprung in behind, but she's also dropping off and getting into the half space and on the run, running at the back line. That creates problems for teams that are looking to stay with you man-to-man with low blocks.
Another player down for South Africa. Matlu, center back. They made just the one change at halftime.
It's Vilakazi who is on Lavelle, and then Matlu, her center back, slides over to cover him behind, goes to ground. And I was actually surprised that Matlu started. I thought Mbane would have been the starting center back for South Africa. I thought she was fantastic in some of the matches I watched. We'll see if she'd be one to replace her.
The goalkeeper's down as well.
It's the second time she's done that.
A long trip over to the U.S. for South Africa. They have one other game that they're going to play, but it will be in France, and it's against Norway before they start their Women's World Cup. So South Africa is going to make a change, you would assume, or at least there'll be a player down at this moment. It's tough to see who's in worse shape right now because the goalkeeper, Dlamini, is also being treated. All this before USA corner, but it's Matlu who will be stretchered off. Players are warming up for South Africa, but no one is up by the 4th official.
And you see Desiree Ellis actually just motioning over to the players that were warming up.
She has not yet announced her roster. We know at least 3 or 4 players that will be on this World Cup squad that are not here today. But some teams have announced. France announced, England announced, USA, Japan have announced early.
And as a player, you like that roster being announced early so you can get into the groove.
Especially if you made it. Yeah. Yeah.
Goes without saying.
Right now, the concern would be for the goalkeeper who's still down. But Mbane is the player that appears to be getting ready to come in for South Africa in a straight swap, like for like, center backs.
And I think as good as a defender as she is 1v1, she's suspect marking in the box, so it's going to be a tough task for her to come in on a set piece from the U.S.
Right now, she doesn't even have permission. She's not up by the fourth official. So it looks like this corner will be taken. Down a man for South Africa. Can the U.S. take advantage? Lavelle sending it in. It's blocked. It comes free. Quick shot. Ertz is blocked. U.S. will get to that next ball. Press in the cut. Another one. Blocked there. Johnny. That's not what she wanted to do. Gives up another corner, but maybe they can get the sub on. Mbane up by the fourth official now. And will officially replace Matlu. She hustles to get back onto the field before the U.S. takes this corner. Rapinoe sending it back. Sauerbrunn up, headed wide, out for a goal kick. Let's go downstairs to Alex Curry, who spoke with USA head coach Jill Ellis right after halftime. Alex.
Jill Ellis told me that 90% of their conversation was about their attacking game. The quality has to be better. They need to pick up the tempo. The passing needs to be cleaner, and they need better touches. Now, in regards to the subs, they want to get Ali Long some minutes in the six, and they want to get Julie Ertz some time in the back so they can get that depth in the rotation. Ellis said expect Rose Lavelle to come out around the 60th minute as they continue to build her time.
You know, it's not often you see the U.S. make 3 subs like that, even when they have 6 to make at halftime.
That's a fair point, and I would have actually preferred to see those substitutions happen perhaps in the She Believes Cup against tougher opponents when the minutes are more meaningful.
On this right side, press, going long, no one close to it. Almost headed back to the U.S., and now it is. Press on that far side. Done. Moving, shooting low, it's blocked. South Africa unable to get possession where they could counter. And now the foul. Good job by Sauerbrunn to slow the play down. Here's South Africa coming back over the halfway line. Senway. Switched by Biana. Kept in play though by South Africa. Lakazi over the top. That's going to get away and lead to a goal kick. We bring back Christina Unkel, FIFA match official. Let's talk a little VAR. Great that FIFA finally realized that they should have it. That should make a difference at this World Cup.
The referees are excited to implement video assistant referees. Recently, 15 have been selected. So adding that extra tool and the technology component for the referees is something being looked forward to, and they've been training with it since December. So it's not something new to the referees at the Women's World Cup, and we'll be using it.
Good.
Great. That's great. FIFA had to do that. There were rumors that they were not going to have it. And thankfully, those turned out to be rumors. We saw it work very well, Ali, at the Men's World Cup in Russia.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think don't use it for handballs, but don't get me started on that.
I mean, if you have the technology, right, you should use it. And if you used it in the Men's World Cup, you have to use it in the Women's World Cup.
Perfect.
Sauerbrunn moving it ahead. Still surprising that the U.S. has only managed to score 1 goal, and that was by Sam Mewis in the 37th minute. Laid off in the right. Got it forward. There's Mewis, end line, cutting it back. It's blocked, the turn-on shot. Morgan had so few touches in the first half, they couldn't seem to find her. Great job there, but that one got away in the end.
And that was exactly a play that you'd think Alex Morgan is looking to find in these matches, where someone gets end line and she pulls out her run, but she couldn't get an angle to get the shot off. Now she's just trying to cycle it back around no one there for her, so she's got to beat her player, go end line, and then scuffs the final ball. That's what it's been for the U.S. today. It's poor final third balls. One of the problems, I should say.
Right side, held up there by Ramalepe. She'll try the long ball, headed forward, back into USA territory. But there is Ertz back on it. Ertz was one of the better center backs in the world, then became one of the better holding midfielders in the world. And right now you have that option where you could play her wherever you want.
So maybe just one of the best players in the world.
There you go. Good summation. Out for a goal kick.
And a nice tool for Jill Ellis, that's for sure.
Well, she could do that at the start of the game, right? Or within game, if she sees something that she doesn't like. That's one of the reasons why they decided to have an extra midfielder in that mix, and maybe why Morgan Bryan was that player chosen.
Exactly.
Long too.
And that's a fair point, but I think the counter argument would be that Davidson can slide into the 6.
She can.
But she was fantastic there at Stanford University.
Davidson's good cover at center back, left back, or also in that midfield. Helps to be versatile. Davidson pass. This one gets away, intended for Rapinoe. Davidson started in 12 of her first 13 appearances for the U.S., then had that unfortunate injury where she missed most of the year at Stanford.
She hasn't quite come back to form yet, but the upside for her is sky's the limit.
#1 pick for the Chicago Red Stars. Dunn upfield, headed wide. Van Wyk. It's blocked. It's Long who made the block. Long will push it right. Dunn. Ertz. So you've got Dunn that's slotted now on the right side, started on the left. You've got Davidson here on the left. They've moved Ertz back. Long gets some minutes. A lot of things happening here for the U.S. in the second half.
And press to the right side.
Having Long, keeping it low, press, turning against Vilakazi. Getting away in the middle. Polowene got it forward. The U.S. gets numbers back. Whenever South Africa has won the ball, they've not been able to get numbers to join them so that they could start a counter.
And part of that problem is that they've only got one high usually, so the player on it's isolated, and they just don't have the skill really to buy the time to get those numbers in advanced positions.
Carly Lloyd is up by the 4th official. We see Emily Sutton, who's taking the penny off. She'll be coming in as well.
Problem too, JP, with making a lot of substitutions in these matches. We talk about building confidence, building cohesion. Well, that's difficult to do when you're making so many substitutions.
In that collision, the ball is going to be turned over. And now we'll see the double sub. And now this time Morgan will officially come out for Carly Lloyd. And then LaBelle will take the place, or LaBelle will come out. Sonnet will come in. Sonnet can also play different positions, so we'll see where she is slotted. Here are the changes and the ovations.
Quiet night for Alex Morgan. You said it, JP. Just really difficult for the U.S. to find her in the center. We'll see if that changes with Lloyd coming on. More of a target player. Incredibly opportunistic, as we know, inside the 18, Carly Lloyd is.
When the players were introduced before the game, just like you heard there, Carly Lloyd seemed to get the biggest ovation. They remember, obviously, all the goals that she has scored for the U.S., including that fantastic hat trick at the 2015 Women's World Cup final versus Japan.
Changes of the match. Substitution for USA, leaving number 13, Alex Morgan.
Here's Long holding it. So the U.S. have made 5 of their 6 allowed changes.
Carly Lloyd.
The U.S. with it with press. Up the middle, finding Dunn. forced that pass to Rapinoe. I thought Dunn could have gone farther. Maybe moved apart that defense of South Africa. Here's Sonnet. Right side Ertz. Press. Soft touch pass. Intercepted. South Africa back on it. Into the middle it comes. John A. Van Wyk. Sunway. That's about it, though. 3 touches and out, pretty much, for South Africa with their possession today. But full credit to them. It's a tight game, scoreboard-wise. Past the hour mark. Who would have thought they would hang in this long? Twande, it's unfortunate for her that she got clipped and fouled, or she had some space to move with that ball.
And it was a smart touch by her, too, because the right outside back, Emily Sonnet, had pushed up. So there was space on that far side.
She appears to be okay. There'll be a free kick coming for South Africa. From long distance. Vilakazi. And that's right to goal. Ertz. Push to the right side. US keeping possession in their half. Davidson. Now we're seeing Dunn pop up on this side after Sonnet came on.
And she's pushed into midfield as you anticipated.
Well, she is the starting left back, but she could play wide. She has played at the number 10 at times for this team.
And you said it earlier, I mean, she leads the NWSL right now in goals, 4 goals, 1 assist, and that's from a midfield position with the North Carolina Courage. It's a position she's very comfortable in. Different wrinkle, though, here when it's a 4-3-3 instead of the box mid that North Carolina likes to play.
Off the chest, but taken over by Dunn. Tries to find Rapinoe. That was a tough ball to try to get through. It's going to be a U.S. throw-in. For Rapinoe, goalkeeper's down again. I wonder, remember she went down in the first half. She went down in the second half, but that was after she had made a save. I wonder. Now the training staff will come out again. We have 2 other goalkeepers. Swart, Kaylin Swart is one of them. Impuru, Makasepa Impuru is the other. We're working on Andile Dlamini.
And look, this is a tactic that South Africa is going to probably want to use at the World Cup too, JP. You break up the rhythm, you slow the game down. Yes, it's only a friendly, but you get into these habits. Desiree Ellis is going to want to make sure that she keeps her squad fully healthy going into the World Cup. So we talk about the U.S. side. Well, South Africa is in the same position.
I want to take advantage of this break with Christina Uncle, FIFA match official. I know you always give extra leeway to a goalkeeper, but this is the 3rd time that she's been down. So what's the dialogue like when you see this?
Yeah, the dialogue of the conversation is with the medical staff. You know, is this goalkeeper able to continue to perform? Do we truly need to sub her out? Because at the end of the day, obviously, the #1 concern for the referee crew is the safety of the players. So when you see someone down going consistently and repeatedly, it's one of those questions you do ask the medic staff. It's not our decision to make, but obviously if you can facilitate that conversation and hurry up the game, then of course.
So you rely on that medical staff.
How do those conversations really go, though? Come on.
I say treatment goes off the field unless it's a goalkeeper. That's how it goes.
U.S. will take this throw in now. Dlamini's back up, by the way. Played across, and that misses the target. And it's going to go out for a throw-in for South Africa. Vilakazi will take it, far side of the field. Well, the other goalkeeper warming up, I thought that might have been it for Dlamini, but that was not the case. Pino almost stripped South Africa of the ball. This is dangerous for South Africa. They've got to get it out, and they do. Upfield, knocked away. U.S. winning it back, and then tackled away. South Africa just hanging tough, even when they've lost the ball. They try to win it back. Davidson trying to get around. Biana does a good job tracking. Cleared by Van Beek. Sam Ewis still with the game's only goal that came in the 37th minute. Rose Lavelle with the assist on it. Tight game here. Not the scoreline we expected. Not going into the 67th minute. And that pass off target intended for Carly Lloyd. Now, how does this group with all the changes find some cohesion?
Some cohesion, some rhythm. It's the leaders on the field. That should be an Allie Long sitting in the defensive center mid-roll. Should be a Carly Lloyd spearheading that front line right down the spine. Julie Ertz, of course, in that back line.
And now we're going to see the goalkeeper change. Kaylin Swart will be coming in, and Christina, we'll bring you back in. Subs now don't have to leave where they used to have to leave.
No, that's another change in the law that is now substitutes are allowed to leave the field by the nearest point at where they're at. So earlier you saw Rose Lavelle leave the pitch on the opposite side of the technical staff. And here the keeper could have effortlessly have stepped off the field next to her goal to kind of facilitate. And obviously the point is to reduce wasting time and getting it done.
Law changes, so many of them. You'll see them. You're seeing them in effect now. You'll also see them in the next couple of friendlies that the U.S. will play. And you'll see them for sure in France starting June 7th. So that's Kaylin Swart. She played at Menlo College in California, had a good career there. Gets an opportunity to take on the U.S.
That's the third time we've seen a ball tried to play in behind for Megan Rapinoe to run onto. It's not working.
It's a Rapinoe throw in. It'll bounce into the box. Not much on that. Dunn's looking for it. Lloyd goes for it. And then it's cleared away before Mewis could get a piece of it. U.S. has a player down as South Africa tries to clear it, but the referee is stopping play.
Davidson's just challenging for the header and gets knocked.
Training staff coming out now for Tierna Davidson, who's the youngest player on this team at age 20. So she's out there along with the oldest player on the team, Carly Lloyd, who's 36 years young. Appear to be in the face cheekbone area. There's Carly with all those goals. Carly Lloyd, 107 international goals.
Not bad.
It's quite a career. She will play in her 4th Women's World Cup. No one else on this current team can make that claim. A few players have played in what will be their 3rd, but Carly in her 4th, the 9th player in U.S. Women's National Team history to make that claim.
It's remarkable what she's been able to do and how she's gotten better throughout her career. Her goal production, how much it's gone up in the latter stages.
Since age 30, right?
Yep.
The numbers are staggering, actually. Let's hope that Davidson is okay. They are still checking with her for this. That looked worse the last time even.
Each time I see it. And you just have to be careful in these situations.
They have another sub that they can make, and even if they didn't, you have to be concerned about players' health, number one.
And that's a good point. Even if they didn't have another sub, if they determine that you shouldn't go on, you just play a man down in these friendly situations.
She wants back in. She'll get back in there with the referee's permission. Right now, U.S. a player down. Johnny. Biana. Vlami. U.S. will break it up. Mewis up the middle, and Davidson is back on the field. Goes back to a left back spot. The game moves on. Pass from long. Sauerbrunn. 1-0 lead for the U.S. Ertz, start of the game as a holding midfielder. Second half, moved back to center back. Spot that she played next to Sauerbrunn. The 2015 Women's World Cup. Dunn. Lloyd. Running it back, left side, Rapinoe returns it. Lloyd could shoot from there, but she'll square it instead. That's Mewis. Right side, Sonnet. Ertz. Press. Tucking it in. Ball played across. That was deflected out for a corner.
And that was much better from the U.S. I'll start on the left side with Rapinoe checking back and playing the way she was facing, and then the quick tempo to get it to that far side. Ertz advancing with it. That's your center back, able to play make so high because of how deep South Africa is. And then you get a run out of midfield.
South Africa have a sub up by the fourth official. As this corner's taken low, it falls, blocked, long. Looked like she was going to get that second goal for the U.S. Good job by Swart in goal. Remains a 1-0 scoreline. Crystal Dunn. Lloyd left. Dunn makes a run. Lloyd step over. Lloyd looks, try to find Rapinoe. That's blocked. And South Africa will try to move it upfield. Lloyd fought to win it back and does. Good quick recovery by Lloyd in the U.S. Davidson pass. Sonnet, Ertz. Allie Long. Lloyd back, then the switch, right side. Held up there, driven across towards Rapinoe in the air. Played back across. Outside the box and now back inside as it's cleared away by South Africa. Down this right sideline. 2 against 5 though at the moment. Seposenwe. That's too ambitious from that distance.
Well, this is the last chance from the U.S. It's an outswinger from Rapinoe, and it's Allie Long who's just all alone. I mean, no one's with her. Initially, no one closes her down. She's got to finish that.
Looked like Swart cleared it with a defender, Biana, right in front of her. First, it was hard to tell who got the touch on it, but it looked like the goalkeeper got it.
That's terrible set piece marking, though, by South Africa.
Van Beek will hold. Still waiting on that sub for South Africa. That ball's out. Now we'll see the change. And it's Mapula Kwale, who was played at Louisiana Tech. He's going to be coming into the game, replacing number 10 for winning.
Placed by number 23, Mapula Kwale, 74th minute.
Ertz to the right.
So good by Ertz.
South Africa trying to get players back defensively. That one's blocked. It's going to go out for a corner. Or no, goal kick.
And it doesn't look like much by Julie Ertz that sprung Emily Sonnet, but for her to take that next player, drag her to her, and then release the pass, gave Emily Sonnet that bit of space to attack down that right side. Those are little nuances and details the U.S. has to get better at against teams like this that are going to sit in these low blocks.
And U.S. Soccer, thank you for attending today's game. Today's attendance, 22,000.
Over 22,000 on hand here on Mother's Day to watch this U.S. team try to get that second goal. Remains just a 1-0 lead. But South Africa really hasn't had a good chance the entire game. Rapinoe will take this corner.
It's my hometown showing up big for the U.S. Now they need to reward them with a few more goals.
Off that set piece. Something here maybe, but not that way. Nobody on that run. Far post. And Mallory Pugh will become the final sub, coming in for Kristen Press, who was not rewarded with her effort today, but she was probably one of the better offensive players on this U.S. team.
I think you're right, and she made a case for herself to be considered one of those key players in the World Cup. Maybe not from a starting position if Rapinoe and Heath are both healthy, but certainly as one of the first players off the bench that can come in and spark the offense. I thought she was great today. Runs in behind, popping off that back line, and let's not forget the last time Mallory Pugh subbed into the match was against Australia, and one of her first touches was a goal.
Throw in here for South Africa. They'll take their time with this. If they could get out of here with a 1-0 loss, that's huge for them. That's like a win for them.
Moral victories, small victories.
Even right now at this late stage.
Game management.
Very good for them. Swart will go the other way. Vilakazi, that's blocked. The U.S. winning it back. Allie Long. Hurts. On the Sonnet pass, Ertz, Sauerbrunn. Davidson. Julie Ertz in the circle. Sonnet plays for the Portland Thorns of NWSL. The U.S. still with the game's only goal. Way back in the 37th minute, Rapinoe taken down. Foul given. Quick restart by Rapinoe. Veteran move there. There's Megan shooting it in. Swart got a piece. Rest is knocked in. And that's going to count. Mewis was on the end of it, but what a restart by Rapinoe. South Africa wasn't ready.
Rapinoe sensed it, she knew it, that this U.S. side has to go up tempo if they're gonna break down the South African side that wants to slow things down. She puts her hand on it, plays it quickly after she's fouled. Here it is, gets her head up, right to feet, little 1-2 there, and then this ball is so brilliant. She's bending in behind that back line, and Sam Mewis run out of midfield. Look at that gap to drop that one in. Swart off her line. Unfortunate, in fact, to rebound that off of Mewis for the goal, but credit Mewis for making that run. Difficult to track, and she gets in behind her defender.
She has both goals. She scored now 3 goals in back-to-back games for this U.S. squad.
And one of the players that we highlighted today that said she can have a good match. Difficult conversation for Ellis and the staff to have.
In for Horan with a hip injury. So now it's 2-0. That's the second goal that they really needed. But how about Rapinoe? The presence of mind not only to take that quick free kick, but to make sure that she stopped the ball, was not rolling, so you would not be able to bring it back and take away the goal.
Yeah, you knew the whole time. As soon as she plays that ball out to Davidson, she wants it right back to her feet. She wasn't sharing it. She wanted it back.
Fuller Toledo has come into the game, replacing Matandi for South Africa. Zednik looks like their 5th change. They've done pretty well today defensively, bending but hardly breaking. They've not done anything on offense. Kwale trying to shot it, looked like from that distance. Off long. Pistol done with it. 80th minute, now a 2-0 more comfortable U.S. lead. But they weren't really threatened because South Africa hasn't shown any threat to go forward. So if the USA couldn't score, they still should have been able to hold on to a 1-0 win.
No, without a doubt. Let's not forget that South Africa's missing 2 of their key attacking players. Inkalana, Malalo, and you could argue also their 6, and Malabene.
Bike, and that foul was committed. On Mother's Day, there is one mom on this U.S. national team. She won't get into the game today, but let's hear more about that, about Jessica McDonald. Here's Alex.
Jessica McDonald told me that representing the USA on Mother's Day means everything to her because it has not been an easy journey. Being a mom and professional athlete is a challenging thing for one human, but she's so proud to be a mom and her son makes her want to work hard every day, and she hopes that these moments right now in her career, playing on a world stage, inspire him and his future. And her son will be in France with her the whole time, and we were told that Jessica had the best reaction when she got the call from Jill Ellis. Jessica told me she immediately started crying, then cried some more, and then she didn't hear anything after that because she kept crying and was so overwhelmed with joy.
Congratulations to Jessica McDonald, who made the team as this ball is played long.
And happy Mother's Day to Jessica McDonald.
It's a
Any
great
mom
story.
that can play professional sports and take care of these beautiful little souls, incredibly impressive. Because you have to be so selfish as a professional athlete. You have to put that all to the side when you've got a little one.
Here's Dawn. Cross block. You played with some great soccer moms, right? Including Joy Fawcett, who came back so quickly after the first pregnancy. Nobody believed it.
I don't think I fully appreciated what they did until now being a mom myself.
Now you do.
Yes.
Corner to be taken by Rapinoe, whose quick free kick opened this up to a 2-goal lead.
Sam Ewis looks to be unmarked. Now late players coming over to pick her up.
She's already got both USA goals today. Now Rapinoe will not take this corner. It's going to be turned to Davidson. Short to Rapinoe, maybe for a better angle. It's nice. South Africa falling for that. And now another corner. This time Rapinoe played it short and then got the return from Davidson. The cut back. Here is Davidson open. End line. The cross there. Settled once. And it was blocked. That needed to be first time by Dunn.
And I can't figure out why South Africa continues to defend corners with just one player when US sends two.
That may change come France in June.
Oh, they'll be punished.
Yeah, especially against their opponents. Left there on the right side. Some room. That first ball again fails. Second try. Volley to that far side. This is as deep as they've gone all game long. A deflected ball. Nair tries to prevent that from becoming a corner, and she does. '84th minute. USA with a 2-0 lead over South Africa.
Quick to recognize Alyssa Nair is. From that angle, it looks like that was out.
Rapinoe to the left. Just holding it up, pushing it back.
I love watching Megan Rapinoe out there just dictating. So smart and intelligent on when to slow it down, when to speed up the match.
She makes a difference when she's out there. When she plays up top with Heath and Morgan, they have all clicked individually and collectively. This is Rapinoe on the ball for Dunn. Rapinoe had an interesting quote yesterday. She said, "We're thinking the game at a high level," and it shows. Ertz, Lloyd, and it's blocked off the chest, taken down. Kazi, and that's going to go out of play, throwing US. They've got the lead. They've got the game where they want it at 2-0, 85th minute. They'll face New Zealand Thursday, then Mexico, and then on to France, where they'll play Thailand in their first game. Dunn. Looking for Lloyd. Lloyd. And now the flag was up anyway. Offside, US. And Lloyd slow to get up, along with Van Wyk, who's had a very rough day.
Been called to task plenty of times. Lloyd just standing in an offside position long before this ball is served. And then Van Wyk covering in behind. Those two mix it up.
US Held up by Sonnet. Back for Ertz. Alley long for Rapinoe. Intended for Dunn. It's coming back off alley long. Sauerbrunn. On the turn, that was Sonnet for Ertz.
And you can see Emily Sonnet is pinching in more centrally. Help create an overload in their build-out phase.
Played wide by Sonnet. Played into the box. Easy play for Swart in goal. Swart sent it forward. Ertz was up in the air, couldn't get to that ball. Back the other way towards Rapinoe. Almost gets to that. Now driven out by South Africa. It's a USA throw-in. Rapinoe to take it. Shot U.S. Lloyd is looking for it for a goal kick. 88 minutes, still a scoreline that's South Africa can sell to their fan base for sure. Only losing 2-0 to the U.S.
And I think it's actually one that the U.S. will be okay with if it holds. I know we're used to routes when you think you're that much greater at a higher level than your opponent with this U.S. side, but these teams all play tactical games now that are more challenging for the U.S. to break down. I would say, however, the U.S. didn't create enough, and they're going to have to learn from this match because Thailand's going to do this, Chile is going to do this, more than likely Sweden will try to do this, but they're going to have more players on the offensive side of things to worry the U.S., so they're not going to be able to commit as many numbers forward, perhaps be as aggressive in their positioning.
Good fight there from Lloyd, toe poking it ahead. Pugh sending it across, open look maybe, shot, save by Swart. U.S. was looking for the hat trick. And then Rapinoe was dropped, gets the call, free kick U.S.
And this is one of the first times we've talked about Mallory Pugh since she came into the match. She just makes that run across the back line. Mewis arriving late to that one. So good with an outside shot. Thought she was going to ripple the net with it.
Bringing back Christina Unkel. Let's talk about the wall and the law change.
Yeah, now when there's 3 or more defenders in a wall, the attacking players must be outside of within 1 yard of that wall.
Referee just pointed it out. It's done to speed it up, right? And to eliminate all the pushing and holding, jockeying for position. Rapinoe ready. This will be about 22 yards away. Waiting for the whistle. Rapinoe, that's off the wall. Back to Rapinoe, the shot! Punched away by Swart. Rapinoe had a second crack at it. Nice cut there, and then taken down again. Draws another foul, another free kick in the 90th minute.
Rapinoe trying to go up and over that wall into the near post, gets 2 looks at it. Swart not confident that she can grab that and hold it, opts to punch it.
5
cut
minutes.
Down again.
5 minutes added on in stoppage time. This one maybe 24, 25 yards away from goal for Rapinoe. Within her range though.
Better distance to get it up and over that wall and dip it down near post if she tries the same.
Rapinoe's ready, the shot, and it's just wide. Goal kick for Swart and South Africa.
And she does try to beat Swart with the same one. Whew. Doesn't miss by much.
One of the veterans, one of the stars from the last World Cup. So many players returning, 12 players from the World Cup roster, 8 who started in the final, 15 players from the team that played and really disappointed in the 2016 Olympics, losing the quarterfinals to Sweden, their earliest exit in a major tournament.
15 of those 18 players, JP, on this World Cup squad.
That's a lot. This one goes out of play. Throw in here. Again, it's the USA opting for experience with this World Cup roster. Right after us, third game of our triple header. So keep it here, DC United Sporting Kansas City, FS1. Rapinoe's cross. It's loose. Lloyd was going for it. Still loose in the box. Turnaround shot by Pugh. And then Lloyd, there's the goal. 3-0 US.
And it's Rapinoe on that left side. Plenty of time to get her head up and whip that ball in. You've got 4 runners in the box. Mallory Pugh gets the ball that bounces out, and then Carly Lloyd posted up, just sniffing around for any extra ball that lands at her feet. Here she is, always ready for it. Little touch there, keeps it low. Always had a chance. I mean, to go through the defender's legs right here, and the goalkeeper's. Big time finish by her, and that's one of the reasons she's on this World Cup roster. You know you can get her into a match, and she can put away that ball.
108th international goal. Her 100th came against Mexico. Dunn will drop it back. Now more of the scoreline that we expected, at the very least, at 3-0.
And I would say that the U.S. settled into a nice rhythm after about maybe 10 minutes after those big substitutions came in. Is when they started to find that next level.
Ball sent long. That's headed away. Mewis nods it down. Rapinoe and Lloyd. Davidson. We're in the 4th minute of 5 minutes of stoppage time. Sauerbrunn, long. Davidson. Ball is pushed over to Davidson. Here is Rapinoe. Dunn looking for Megan. That's knocked away. Ali, some final thoughts, takeaways from this game?
Not as bright as we would have expected to start from the U.S. Ultimately, they did find different ways to break down South Africa, but I still think they're going to need to be more creative in that final third and figure out how to go up tempo earlier in a match, because there's going to be opponents that are going to threaten on the counter. It's going to be much more difficult for this U.S. team in the World Cup and as they progress out of group stage, which we anticipate will be the case. And how about the impact of Megan Rapinoe? Last 2 goals coming from this left side with her initiating. What a big piece she is to this U.S. attack.
Lloyd down again as that ball is played to the right. Sonnet. Ball cleared away by South Africa. U.S. wins it back again. Mewis. Full 90 in today.
Yeah, another takeaway. If she's not a starter, I mean, both her and Press, first players off the bench. It's been fantastic.
Almost at 5 minutes of stoppage time. Maybe another crack at goal here. Lloyd's attempted pass blocked. Comes back. Mewis. That's going to do it on the Davidson last touch. Sam Mewis, this was her day, played a full 90 and scored 2 goals, one in the 37th minute, one in the 78th minute, and then Carly Lloyd added one after stoppage time, her 108th international goal. When we come back, We'll take it to our LA studios, and the group will talk about what Jill Ellis has learned today and what this U.S. team still needs to work on today. They get a shutout win, 3-0 over South Africa.